It is Monday, November 17th, and welcome back to the Nick Watkins Show. I'm Nick Watkins. Wow, what a day yesterday. I always love Monday shows because we get to talk about everything that happened in football, and the Warriors also played. Um, a lot to talk about. Let's just start with a quick recap of everything that happened yesterday in football. The Commanders and Dolphins were the first teams to play. That was in Madrid. And just like last week, the game started off slow. It was a very boring game to watch. Field goal fest. Only two touchdowns in this game. But it went to overtime. On the first play of overtime, Marcus Mariota, he threw an interception, returned um, and it set up the Dolphins' game-winning field goal. Dolphins win in overtime. The Texans and the Titans played. This was also another boring game. The Texans didn't score a point until the third quarter, but the game-winning field goal came for the Texans um, against the Titans. So that one ended 16-13. The Steelers had a nice game over the Bengals to remain in the division lead in the AFC North. Aaron Rodgers did end up getting hurt in this game, so that is something to look out for. The Packers play the Giants. Jordan Love got hurt. He came back though. Josh Jacobs got hurt. I do not think he came back, but the Packers were able to hold off the Giants 27-20. The Bears had another nice fourth quarter. Well, actually, it was the Vikings who scored the points, but a kickoff return, 56 yards, set up the Bears for a game-winning field goal. The Bears are 7-3. When did that happen? They've won three in a row. They are tied for first in the NFC North with the Packers. The Jaguars and the Chargers went at it in Jacksonville. Two good teams, but the Jaguars dominated this one. It was 35-6 was the final. Um, the Jacksonville running game was great. And then we got the Bills and the Bucks in what was looking like the game of the day until the Bills pulled away. Josh Allen had three rushing touchdowns and three passing touchdowns. That's a big day for him. On the other side, Sean Tucker, he had three touchdowns for the Buccaneers, and the Bills were able to win this game 44-32. The Panthers and the Falcons played. Anytime these two teams play, it feels like Bryce Young steps it up, and it's really a great game. It's always in Atlanta, and this is what happened. Bryce Young, 448 passing yards, three touchdowns. And then as for Atlanta, Bijan Robinson ran all over them, and this one went to overtime. A 28-yard game-winning field goal from Ryan Fitzgerald. The Rams and the Seahawks in a big, big game for the NFC West to determine who takes the lead at this point in the season. The Rams started out hot in those nice black uniforms, 14 points in the first quarter. Kind of cooled off from then. Didn't score again until late in the fourth. Um, or actually, no, it was early in the fourth. My bad. But the Seahawks, after Sam Darnold threw four interceptions on the day, had a chance to win at the end. 61 yards. That's pretty long, but it is indoors. But Myers missed the field goal. Seahawks lose to the Rams 21-19. The Broncos and Chiefs, another big divisional showdown. The Chiefs just trying to stay in it in the AFC West, and the Broncos didn't let them. 22-19 Broncos on a walk-off field goal. Um, let's see. The Ravens played the Browns. Shedeur Sanders got into the game, and he wasn't necessarily good, but what are you gonna do, right? He didn't get any first team reps. That's what I saw people saying. And the Ravens beat the Browns 23-16 to get back to 500. Watch out, the Ravens are coming. And then the 49ers beat the Cardinals 41-22 in Brock Purdy's return. We'll get into that. And then the Sunday night game, the Eagles once again, great defensive performance in prime time. 16-9 the final score there. Eagles offense doesn't look good, but that defense looks amazing. So watch out. Eagles are pretty good. The game tonight, Cowboys at Raiders. But let's talk about the 49ers and how they played in Brock Purdy's return. Let's just go group by group. we'll start with the offense and Brock Purdy, 19 for 26, 200 yards, um, 3 touchdowns, and it's so great to have Brock back. The offense looked great. We scored 41 points, so it just goes to show how good we looked. But we were aggressive down the field, and we also were running the ball. Brock only took 1 sack, so good job of the offensive line. But it just goes to show that Brock very much in control of the offense still. He's came right back, fit right in, dished it out to all of his guys. Had a great game. So even though the yards aren't the most flashy, just 200, 3 touchdowns, still pretty good. Christian McCaffrey, dog. Every time he plays the Cardinals, it seems like he goes crazy and he scores a whole bunch of touchdowns. 5 catches, 13 carries, so 18 touches in total. 121 total yards, 3 touchdowns for CMC. What I am really excited about in this stat line here, 13 carries for 81 yards, which is 6.2 a pop, which is great because before it was like 2, 3, 4, and McCaffrey a lot of times they were saying he would get hit behind the line of scrimmage, at the line of scrimmage. You have to break tackles to get a couple of yards. This time, 6.2 a carry is very good, and the fact that he didn't have to run the ball that much is great for resting purposes. Then he still had 5 catches for 40 yards, 3 total touchdowns, 2 rushing, 1 receiving. Nice job from CMC. Another big game from George Kittle, the Kittle Purdy connection looking great. Even though we've only had it for a game and a half this year, 6 catches for George, 67 yards, and 2 touchdowns. His 50th career touchdown was the second one. And Purdy and Kittle pass Young and Jones for most touchdowns by a quarterback tight end duo in 49ers history, as well as Kittle becoming only the third player ever in Niners history to have 500 catches for the team, it being with Rice, Owens, and now Kittle. So congrats to Kittle. Lots of milestones there. Juwan, 4 for 54. Juicy had a couple of touches. B-Rob, 8 carries for 24 yards. Um, three per, which is pretty good. Ricky Pearsall had 1 catch for no yards. But he's just getting back into it. So besides he won, so it's not the end of the world. Then Eddie Pinheiro, 3 for 3 on field goals, 2 for 4 on extra points. He missed one was blocked, and then he did kind of get hurt, questionable with a hamstring. He didn't return. We only had one more touchdown. He went for 2, didn't get it. So hopefully he comes back healthy. We really need him to. So, and then Thomas Morrison had 3 punts. Just going through all the offensive stats. I think the O line did a great job. And then yeah, 4 for 5 in the red zone. It's big for the 49ers not to just get into the red zone, but also capitalize on those opportunities. That is great. So yeah, very happy with the way that the game went for the offense. On the other side, the defense only held them to 22 points, and considering that they threw the ball 57 times, that's pretty crazy. There was another forced fumble on the 1 yard line. That's happened a couple times this year. Lenore had a pick. Mustafa had a pick. And then Upton Stout, he forced a fumble. So who recovered the fumble? Let's see. Oh, it was Keon White. So new addition, Keon White. No sacks for the Niners. That's something that we want. Obviously, we want some pressure on the quarterback. This other thing you have to consider is, although this is a very good win, the Cardinals are not a good team. But the fact that we beat them by this much, and we really just dominated, is a good sign. But we can't be getting too high on the defense because the Cardinals are not a very good team. So we'll keep that in mind. Jacoby Brissett, 47 completions, which ties the record. Ben Roethlisberger had that much in a postseason game. So this is the regular season record: 452 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. So the pass defense has not been very good for the Niners, but when you're throwing that much, it's kind of stat padding and stuff like that. But we did a good job, I think. Just hopefully we can get more pressure, and you know when next time we go up against a good team, a good offense, we'll see how that goes. We have the Panthers next week, I believe. That's a pretty good team. They're not great, but they're not a slouch either. So we better get ready for that. One other thing about this is the Cardinals had 130 penalty yards. I can't remember 17 penalties for 130 yards, which is crazy. They were getting penalized like just so much, and that could have been a factor in the game. So yeah, lots of penalties, and I'm just yeah very happy, very excited about the way we played, and I'm looking forward to next week. And I think the key is with this defense, and how beat up we are. And it's not like the defense is put in a very rough spot because our best pass rusher is out. Our first and third best pass rushers are out, which means Huff will get double teamed. Which means we can't really get much pressure. We have Fred Warner, who is all world linebacker. He's out. Then a young secondary. So when you take away those two veteran guys, Bosa and Warner, it's tough to be good. Tatum Bethune is out, or he might be out. He got hurt in this game as well, which will not be good. Another linebacker getting hurt. It's just put in a rough position, very banged up. But defense is kind of a weakness for us right now. And what that means is if we're gonna, the offense is gonna determine how far we go. If they play like this every game, putting up 41, then we have a chance to do something. But it's gonna have to be the offense, scoring touchdowns, putting up big points in order for us to do anything. But 41 points is a great sign, even if it was against the Cardinals. So, yeah, good Sunday for the 49ers. And, we'll see how next week goes. The Sharks did not play yesterday. We don't play today either. They play on Tuesday. But, who did play yesterday were the Golden State Warriors, who had a very, very strong first quarter. 44 points in the first quarter. Moses Moody had 21 in the first quarter on 7 threes, which is amazing. Just going through the stats, Moody 32, Jimmy had 18 points with 10 assists. Pods 19, 3 and 3, Draymond 8, 10 and 6. Buddy Hield 11 points. Steph Curry only had 9 points, but we still won. Still won by 18 points. So even though Steph didn't have necessarily the greatest game, the rest of the team picked up the slack for him. We got a little bit dicey there in the second quarter. They Pelicans managed to close the gap, but the final 124 to 106 Warriors win with a very very good first and fourth quarter offensively. It really felt like we were just shooting the ball very well. The three ball was going down, 24 for 56 on threes, which is pretty good. And then lots of second chance points. I noticed that in the game as well. And then obviously Moses Moody having a great game, 32. I believe that's a career high, but I'm not completely sure about that. But 8 threes made. He was 10 for 16, 8 for 12 on 3. Very hot to start the game. So great job, Moses Moody. And the next Warriors game is on Tuesday at Orlando. So we'll see how that one goes as well. Lots to talk about today. Lots of good stuff to talk about today. Hopefully we can keep that rolling. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next episode.